Couldn't be more deserving. You got me cloud surfing, cloud surfing, cloud surfing. You got me.
Hey. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in the room. LoveHers 808 Podcast. What's up?
What's going on?
Welcome.
Welcome. Good to be here with you all. What's up, community? What's up to our community?
The LGBTQ community.
That's a pretty cool ring to it. I like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's get this party started.
Let's get this party started.
All right. My name is Ms. M to the Z, a.k.a. Shantae, to friends and family. Like, that joint kind of rhyme a little bit. I didn't plan that.
No.
You know.
You're just a genius. You really are. And I am Lordine Jean-Francois.
Jean-Francois? You speak French?
Oui. And this is LoveHers 808 Podcast. This is our second episode.
Yeah, episode number 2.
Episode number 2. I mean? The reception from last week's episode was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was great to have so many people vibing with us, and
for sure,
and really appreciating just our dialogue, our conversation.
Hey, man.
You know, because that's what this is. Yeah.
Having some real conversations. Mm-hmm. You know, trying to build this LGBT community.
Building it.
Right?
Building.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We asked y'all to, we want y'all to keep, every time y'all come on, new people, make sure y'all text us at 410-645-0777. And you can text love if you're interested in love, because we got some matchmaking services going on.
Yeah.
Text wealth if you're interested in her wealth circle. We'll be talking about, entrepreneurship, having some LGBTQ entrepreneurs, business owners, talk about their business. We're talking about investing strategies, real estate, short-term rentals, anything where we're trying to generate income, several streams of income, because, that is the key to becoming a millionaire, multimillionaire,
absolutely,
and eventually billionaire. So,
prosperity and abundance. That's what we're talking about. Absolutely. Yeah. So today, what are we talking about today?
What we talking about today, man?
We are talking about TheEYE In Team. You hear people say, I know, right? That's a little bit different.
What you mean?
I know.
TheEYE In Team.
TheEYE In Team, right? Because you hear, there is no I in team, right? And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Right. But there really is an I in team, right?
You can break it down. You gotta break that down.
Break it down. Okay. So in order for a team to be an effective team, right? The individuals making up that team, right, have to be individually on their own, right, working on themselves to make contributions necessary to create a strong team and move the team forward.
That is key,
right?
You have to individually be working on yourself, so that then you can align
absolutely
when it's time with the team.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
Because how else can you do it?
Well, you can do it, but you won't do it effectively.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You won't do it effectively.
You won't have a full cup.
There you go.
You'll be pouring and pouring, not nourishing yourself. And you'll be missing the becoming part.
Absolutely.
That's the key. It's the becoming, because we are human, this lifetime we are human. And humans are always evolving. So there is no ending, right? No. Kind of like that 808.
Kind of like that 808, like that infinity. Absolutely.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
So we're always becoming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. Always becoming. And the more we're becoming, greater and better versions, expanded versions of ourselves, then the better we're able to contribute to the team, right? And then the expansion of that team, right? Hello. And because we're here to create with one another, we're here to co-create, right? Creation at its best, right? Co-creating. We are creators here to create, right? Being strong independently allows you to contribute even more to the team, right? In the process of creation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Makes sense.
Makes
sense. And we talking about teams, and it is in reference to all teams, but most importantly in relation to this topic of LoveHers 808, we're talking about couples.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Partners, being in relationships, marriages, etc., etc. And that is so key in order for us as a couple to expand and grow and achieve new levels. It's like mandatory that each individual is working on that becoming.
Absolutely.
Working on that individual becoming, whatever that means to you, as far as what is it that you're trying to achieve, what areas you're trying to improve upon, you know, the level of expansion for your own humanity, because that is transferred into your DNA. And that will get transferred to your children, to the generations to come. And not to forget that you take on the DNA of those that were before you. You know, so any of that unhealed trauma, you know.
Unhealed trauma, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or any of those advances, right? On the opposite side, those advances that your ancestors made, you now have that upgrade.
Absolutely.
Right?
That also gets passed down. Yes.
Yeah. And so we got to think about that as far as like who we are, what is our mission, why are we here on planet Earth, what did we come to achieve, you know? And we know that love is the ultimate. You know, love is the highest vibration. So when we move in love, you know, we're transcending love. Yeah. We're upgrading our DNA. Right. You know. Right. And that has to be done individually. Can't nobody do that for you, baby.
Right. Now we contribute though to one another's growth.
Absolutely. Because we're all connected.
Absolutely. Even especially in regards to this love thing, right? Because one thing in particular that relationships help us accomplish is spiritual growth, right? If we're loving...
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So when you think about the process of becoming... and the way that relationships challenge us to become greater versions of ourselves, it's as if we connect just so we can heal those parts of ourselves that need healing. Because whenever you're triggered in a relationship by your partner, what that is an indication of is an emotional wound, a wound that needs your attention, right? Yeah. So when we're in partnership with one another, we give ourselves, our partners give us the opportunity to work on ourselves. Now it's still individual work, right? Right. But the triggering that happens as a result of being in relationship provides the foundation, right, for the work that we're here to do to continue elevating.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Yeah. So it's a spin on being thankful for the arguments and the fights and the things that come up in your relationships, because those very things provide an opportunity for your growth and your spiritual development.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's part of that I becoming a greater version of me by learning how to love from a place that's a wholehearted place, right? That is not conditional based on whether someone does something you like or don't like, or whether you think they're right or wrong, right?
Yeah.
It's a true test, I'll use that word, right? Of testament and test to this thing that we call unconditional love, right? Yeah.
That's deep.
Indeed.
That thing we call unconditional love.
Yeah.
Because, that unconditional love, when we talked about this last time, a lot of us are not used to what it really means to have unconditional love. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I won't say most, but there's a lot of folks out here that love you based on conditions. You know what I'm saying? As long as those conditions are met, then I'm gonna love you. You know what I'm saying? And that is that's a level. Yeah. That's a certain level that certain people vibrate on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think you gotta experience that.
You do.
And want something different.
Yeah.
So that contrast
can help you
expand, right? And help you. We look at contrast, and we look at things that maybe we might say, oh, this is not a great thing. Something that you don't like. You might look at it as negative, but that thing that's happening to you that you don't like is happening so that you can change and do something differently. So it's like, depending on your perspective, you can either look at it as, well, how is this going to help me grow? What is this trying to teach me? Or you can just look at it and look at yourself as the victim. And keep wanting other people to change what they're doing while you play the victim, right?
Yeah. Oh man,
you know
but
what I mean?
that just really puts you in a very powerless position.
By playing the victim.
Yeah. Absolutely. Come on, stop, get out of my head. It really does. I mean,
stop playing. Stop playing.
You stop playing. But no, I mean, we really have to talk about this honestly, because there are payoffs to playing that victim role.
Yeah, of course.
There really are payoffs. We get to blame people, and blame feels good, right? There's pleasure in that, not joy or happiness, but pleasure. It feeds the ego, right? When you play the victim role, you don't have to take responsibility, right?
Yeah.
For your actions. You don't have to own your stuff, right?
Because it's everybody else's fault.
Because it's everybody else's fault. And so your ego isn't bruised, right? When you don't have to look at yourself and really own your stuff. Give some thought to where you need to grow, where you need to change, where the opportunity is for you to grow, right? And so you also, when playing the victim, you set up relationships are set up for people to rescue you, right? So you don't have to figure it out, right? Somebody else figures it out for you. So and for some people, they're a payoff. Those are the payoffs, right? Yeah. But the consequences, though, the cost, right, is that you never tap into your power.
No.
Right? You don't realize your strengths on the other side of that challenge. You don't realize your strengths on the other side of that obstacle. You don't get to grow. Yeah.
You don't get to evolve.
Because
you think it's everybody else's. You think everyone else needs to evolve. Everyone else needs to change. And you pretty much you know, you got it together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ego. You know what I mean? So ego could convince you of many, many things.
Tricky little thing.
Little thing.
Right. And we don't want to give the ego a bad rap, right? We want to approach, you know, approach it from a place of humility, because it's just where we are at this time in our evolution, right? But conversations like this, conversations about love and unconditional love and what that really means, this is how we evolve. Yeah. Right? This is how we evolve to a greater understanding of what really matters, what's really important, you know. And sometimes we're blinded by the things that we see or the things that we have experienced in the past. And those blinders block us from being able to see the potential in really loving self and others unconditionally. Yeah. You know, it's such a beautiful thing. And it's scary too. We don't want to paint it like it's all, you know, with rainbows and gumdrops. You know? Right. But but when you see the power in that vulnerability, and see that unconditional love reflected back to you, you know, you just know it's divine. Yeah. And it's much, and see, that's the work. You know what I mean? That's the work. That's the I part. That's the I part in the team. Say more. Because it's the work that you need to do individually. Because like I said, can't nobody do it for you, right? And that work that you got to do individually, like, it's not easy. You know, it's not easy reflecting, taking ownership, and seeing your role. You know what I'm saying? Because once you learn that everything that you're experiencing is a reflection of you, now that's when it's like, wait a minute. Yeah. So if it's a reflection of me, then that means that it's in me. Yeah. That's the only reason why I'm experiencing this right now, is because it's a reflection of something that I got going on internally. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Of a program that I may have running. Of a hurt that I may have experienced. You know, of self-doubt, of emotional wounds. Oh, yes, right? Trauma. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like things that may be tapping into your worthiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel worthy? Do you feel like you are enough? And if you are, and if you do, are you behaving and acting as if? Right. Or are you playing the victim? Right. You know what I'm saying? And seeing everyone else as the predator. You know what I'm saying? That they're out to get you, or whatever story that is going. You know what I'm saying? So when you have to reflect and you say, well, how did I attract this? Right? It ain't nothing left to do but go within. Yeah. Because you have to figure what that is. Why is this thing reoccurring? You know what I'm saying? Why do you keep finding yourself in the same relationships with the same type people? You know what I'm saying? You know, with the same problems, the same issues. Like, are you the common denominator? You know what I'm saying? And that is the work. And now a lot of people don't want to deal with that because it requires you to go within. Yeah. A lot of people don't like being by themselves. Because it requires them to think too much. You know what I'm saying? They contemplate too many things, to deal with those demons, so-called. You know what I'm saying? And it's easier to be distracted. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to just to keep moving on, you know, and keep yourself busy and stay distracted, because then you don't have to deal with it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And that is also part of the work. Right? Because, you know, the avoidance, you know, of the pain, the avoidance of the pain that eventually leads to suffering, right? Because here's the thing, we are here to grow, right? Like, we're meant to evolve beyond where we are. That's how evolution happens, right? We experience things that we don't want, that those experiences challenge us to become greater, right? So we can experience what we do want, right? So the avoidance of the pain, the avoidance of the suffering eventually only leads to you needing to do something about it. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. And so that is the work, coming face to face with that pain, coming face to face with those unhelpful, limiting beliefs we have about ourselves because of what we were taught or what we observed or who we were told we were or could be, couldn't be. I mean, it's hard to say, and we've had conversations like this, you know, baby and I, it's hard to say I didn't feel loved, right? Yeah. Or when I needed someone, whether it was mom, me, dad, when I needed someone, they were not there, and because of that, right? Here are the things I went through. These are the things that I experienced. These are the things that are still difficult for me even today, right? Those conversations take courage and vulnerability that it's just at a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's the word. And insight.
Because
a lot of times, the awareness, a lot of times we're not even aware that those things that happened when you were younger affect, you know what I'm saying, how you relate to life now as an adult. A lot of us are not aware of that. So becoming aware of that, and then saying, well, damn, you know what I'm saying, taking a look at that and realizing, oh, see, this thing happened to me, and this thing happened to me, and that's pretty traumatic. You know what I'm saying? And anytime you experience trauma, your brain literally changes.
Absolutely.
You know, the design of your brain literally changes. And not to mention, and I just learned this, this year or last year, that your blueprint is set. You have from the ages of 0 to 7. So whatever you experience from the ages of 0 to 7 laid a blueprint, a program for how your personality will be. Now it can change, but it will change only when you become aware and you actually want it to change. Right. So you kind of got to go back and think about, well, what was I experiencing from 0 to 7? And a lot of us don't even remember. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, what messages did you receive as a child? What did you see in your environment? You know, were your parents loving towards each other in that environment? What was your relationship with your brothers and your sisters? What was your relationship with your school, your teachers, you know what I'm saying, your friends? What were you listening to? What were you watching? You know what I'm saying? All of those are programs. Yeah. And they lay a blueprint and a foundation. Yeah. And depending on how you were loved, or you weren't loved, right, kind of dictates how you will be.
Yeah, the input affects the output.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And that's deep.
Yeah.
Because you don't be thinking that how you experience love from ages of 0 to 7, you don't think that affects you, you know, or has some type of effect on how you love your partner now when you're 35. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that deep? That's deep.
Damn.
That is really deep. And that time in our lives is such an essential time, that 0 to 7, because I believe that our subconscious is more accessible during that time of our lives, right? Yeah. Right, because the conscious mind, the abstract mind, doesn't form until after 7. So by the time you're 7 years old, you're taking in all of these things indiscriminately. Right?
You soak it up.
You're
a sponge.
You're just soaking it up. And what you don't know during that time in your life is you get to decide what you accept as truth or not. You get to decide what you believe. See, I learned that, I'll say within the last 2 years.
Right.
Right. And there's so much power in that, because knowing that is how you begin to intentionally create your experience, right?
And that's power.
And that is power.
That's tapping in.
Tapping in
to the God within.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you learn that, I actually get to decide what I believe and what I don't believe. Now that is not easy work. I'm not saying that you come to that realization all of a sudden those unhelpful thoughts, those habits of thought are just going to disappear. No, right? The way the energy works, that momentum has been building for a very long time. So it's going to take time for the momentum behind those thoughts to dissipate slowly but surely. But the realization that you get to choose what you believe, right? The more you reinforce you, right? You get to choose what you believe, and the more that is reinforced for you, because the mind can only focus on one thought at a time, right? We think thoughts consecutively and sometimes at a very fast pace, depending on how balanced you are, right? But you can only think of one thought at a time. So reinforcing that belief, that truth that you get to choose what you believe, that changes your entire life experience.
Woo.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you are in control at that point. You are aware of the control you have at that point.
Yeah. You get to take your power back.
You get to take your power back.
Not that it was ever gone.
Right.
It was within you the whole time.
You realize
but you get to realize.
You get to
become aware.
Yeah.
And now you can become a real player in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you can have a main role.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not just what they call an extra.
An extra in your own life.
In your own life. Come on, man. It's your life.
Right.
You're the designer.
Yeah.
The creator.
Yeah.
Now you can create some stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Intentionally.
Yeah, because we create all day.
We create.
You was about to say that.
I was. We create by default all day. I mean, just by continuing on, without awareness, right, of the patterns that are operating in the background, the programs that are operating in the background. So the goal is to create with intention, right? To increase your awareness, to elevate your awareness to the truth of who and really what you are, so you can create with intention. That's when you become a master.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
That's alchemy right there.
That's the alchemist.
Yeah.
And now you can start shifting your perspective to a more positive perspective, because if that's what you ultimately want in your life, now you can do that with intent. And of course it's going to take some time, because you got all these old programs running. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's some deep subconscious on a subconscious level. So what they say is that it's 2 ways to reprogram your subconscious. One is through hypnosis. Most people aren't going to be doing that on a regular basis. And 2 is through repetition. And see, that's where you get into this whole positive affirmations and repeating these affirmations over and over again, because what you're doing is now you're tapping into your subconscious and reprogramming those programs, those negative programs that you have running. So it's going to take time. That's why some people be like, oh, these affirmations don't work. Well, how long were you doing them? 2 days? 3 days?
Yeah.
5 days? A week?
Yeah.
I mean, you got programming of 7 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And beyond that.
And beyond. But just to start with, you got some deep programs starting for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. I think the last I read up on this, the reprogramming of the subconscious mind, I think the ratio is like either 7-to-1 or 10-to-1. 7 to 10 positive things to every 1 negative thing. is what it takes you to reprogram your subconscious mind, right?
Yeah, that's deep.
7 to 10, and that has a lot to do with the brain's negativity bias, and baby, you talked about that before on the Science of Peace, but again, just where we are at this stage in our evolution, right? The brain tends to focus on, hold on to, and remember negative things as a way to protect us, right? Yeah. Right. And it really is a protective mechanism, right? One that worked back in the day. Right. When we was in hunting and gathering. Right. And running away from bears and lions and other cavemen and I don't know. Oh my. Right. And so, that protective mechanism, the animal brain, the amygdala, right?
The amygdala,
the animal
brain. That's a good SAT word, huh? She said the amygdala.
The amygdala, so very sapio, this one here. Well, I am too. Though.
Exactly. So stop playing.
I love your brain.
Here you go.
No, I love your. Damn.
Yeah, you said it.
Cut. But where was I? Now you made me lose my train of thought.
I bet I did.
Come get her, somebody. So the amygdala.
Hey, she said it. She opened the door.
The animal brain.
The animal brain, the amygdala.
Right, the amygdala, right, is the part of our brain that is responsible for that fight or flight, freeze, fawn response, right? Yeah. And so, there once was a time when we were better off thinking that there was a tiger in the woods than we weren't, right? Because it was better to be safe than sorry, right? But here we are now that we've advanced as a civilization, evolved as a civilization, that mechanism is still in its evolutionary stage, right? Just as we are, right? And so we find ourselves, fearful of things that we don't necessarily have to be afraid of, but just because of the brain's negativity bias and its tendency to hold on to negative things to keep us safe, right? Yeah. Right. So knowing that, having the awareness, right, knowing that your thoughts are a reflection of where we are consciously, vibrationally, energetically, right? And where we are in terms of our evolution, that's really key, because that helps us put some distance between who we are, what we are, and the thoughts that our minds think. Yes. Right. And very intentional about the way that I'm saying that, the thoughts that our minds think, because you are the observer of those thoughts, right? That is the I in team, right? You are the I am, right? The observer, the great I am, right? And those thoughts and those feelings and all those things are just a part. You have those as part of your experience here, but you are the observer, the great I am. Yeah.
And those thoughts aren't necessarily yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something, I learned, recently, that every thought you think is not yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
the fact that you can observe
Yeah.
those thoughts shows you that right then, if you can observe a thought,
yes.
then how can it be yours? So where them thoughts come from?
Where do they come from?
Where do they come from? They come from programs.
Yeah.
They come from the programs that you picked up that are running. They come from the DNA programs that you have within your DNA that are running. You know what I'm saying? They come from, they don't call it TV programs for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
TV programs you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They come from, yes, our individual consciousness, but also the collective consciousness.
The collective.
Right? Because we are all connected, right? And thoughts are just energy forms, just like feelings are energy forms, right? So
everything is energy.
Everything is energy, right? So depending on where you're vibrating, right? depending on where you're vibrating, you're more susceptible to experiencing, right, thoughts associated with that level of consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Now, and that's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother episode. I was about to say, we about to get in that. But it's some good stuff.
It is some good stuff.
But man, maybe that'd be episode 3.
Maybe it will be. But the key here, what we're wanting to drive home is that your thoughts are not who you are.
Yeah. You're more than that.
Yeah.
You're more than that.
Yeah.
You're greater than that.
Yeah.
You are the great I am.
Absolutely.
I am that I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You are, and some people, you know, they not ready for this, but it even say it in the Bible. You are a God.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just waiting to the
Gods. You are gods.
Yeah.
And that's with the little G. You know what I'm saying? And all of us collectively, everything collectively, is the great, is the one source. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you are, or what I read the other day, you are a fractal of God. Hello?
Yeah. Ooh.
A fractal of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
An extension.
So it's like, come on, y'all, take y'all places. Like, this is the time where humanity is now transitioning from we were in a stage of where we were just trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? And we've been doing this whole surviving thing for a very long time, and it's been great. Hey, we learned a lot. Yeah, we evolved a lot, but now it's the age of Aquarius. It's the age of the awakening. The age of information. The age where consciousness starts to raise, and a lot of us are figuring out now, I don't want to just survive. Yeah. I want to live. Yeah. So this is the age of living. Right. And in order for us to live, right, we got to really embody love.
Which is who you are, which is what we are.
It was what we are. You know what I'm saying? It's what we are. That's why we crave it. You know what I'm saying? If you just look at the culture of today, like with social media, right? Just look at what's happening with the social media culture. You know, this is part of the great expansion and the evolution, but look how many people are wanting love. And it don't even matter what kind of form it comes in. They just want the love. They want the likes. They want the hearts. Yeah. Because that's just that's just a need for love. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want the followers. Yeah. All of that is just like, it's a way to express that is what you're wanting. That might not be the way that we need to get it to evolve, but it's part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I ain't looking at it as it's negative or positive. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? So, but that desire to love and to be loved is because you are love. Right. You know what I'm saying? So naturally it's a reflection. You know what I'm saying? And it's a necessary component of evolving as a human. Right. Because there ain't nothing like getting with a partner. Right?
You gonna look over here with me like that? Come on. Come on with it.
It's nothing like it's okay, I'm gonna tell you this. And I mentioned this a little bit last episode, but
you gonna make me blush again because I can't. All right, let me get cheeks. Ready.
Let them cheeks shine, cutie. But there's really nothing like, okay, this is going back to the TheEYE In Team, right? So like I said before, I was going through a phase in my life where I was working on the I of me. I was working on the becoming, right? And so I took some time to myself and what I realized was that I didn't know how to love myself, right? And I didn't know that. I didn't know that I didn't know how to love myself. So I had to become aware that, because the question was, you know, well, how can someone love me if I don't know how to love myself? Right? And I came to that realization when I took some time to focus on me, and I went on a kayaking trip by myself on the water, and I sat in my little kayak. Right, I've never been kayaking before, but I love the water, so I wanted, something was telling me go on the water. So I went out and it was in a kayak. I was listening to an old Akashic reading, and I was just contemplating. And then I came to the realization, you know, because you're getting them downloads. When you spend time with yourself and you loving yourself, like, you're going to automatically raise your frequency.
And you were in nature, too.
I was in,
on
nature.
Water.
On water. Nature has a very high frequency. That's why we always feel calm when we're in nature, when you're in the woods, when you're in the country, right? It's less chaos, less noise. You know what I'm saying? The trees vibrate high. The plants, the animals, the birds, the water. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to go get one with nature, which is why we're going to have some events. Some LGBTQ events.
Baby with
nature. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I came to that realization. I'm like, damn. Like, how I can't, you know, really be upset with anyone. Not even myself, because I'm just an evolving human. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't love me the way I needed to be loved, how can you love me if the way I needed to be loved, if I don't know how I needed to be loved because I don't know how to love myself? Yeah. Right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when I started doing the work, and I had to become aware of the fact that trip that I took out on the water, that was me loving myself. It was something that I always wanted to do that I didn't do because I was too caught up with distractions. You know what I'm saying? Pouring my cup into others' cups and leaving myself empty. You know what I'm saying? So I had to take that time, and I started to realize, well, damn, this is a way that I do love myself. You know what I'm saying? And these are things I need to do to continue to love myself so that I can evolve and attract the love that I deserve. And that's what I exactly did. You know what I'm saying? I was working on myself, loving myself, you know what I'm saying? Dating myself, you know what I mean? Doing the things that I love to do. And literally, I always wanted to go to Sedona, right? Sedona, Arizona. If y'all don't know, that's spiritual land right there. Okay,
so beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's the frequency is so high. There's so many portals and grids, and y'all go look it up. Okay, but I always wanted to go to Sedona, so I took a trip to Sedona by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I came there to put my feet in that red clay. They got these beautiful red clay mountains. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. But and you know, I was meditating. I was by the water. I was in the mountains hiking. You know what I'm saying? All this by myself, which I never did before. Loving myself. And literally, when I came back from Sedona, you know, I was talking to someone at that time. We didn't even match anymore. Our frequency didn't match anymore. So we ended up ending that door. But it was I learned a lot from that experience. And then literally, I think it was maybe like 2-3 weeks later, boom.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? I met Lordine.
Wow.
And you know, our story, how we met was the first episode. So if you ain't catch it, go back and listen. You can hear all about that. But it was like, she matched my frequency, the frequency that I was at then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I didn't have to go looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I attracted it, and she attracted me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because she was also
doing
individually
doing that. Doing that eye work.
She was doing the TheEYE In Team.
I was doing,
and we wasn't even a team yet. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But we were.
Right. On a spiritual level. Because, like, go back and watch how we met. We got many, many lifetimes together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
that eye work. I mean, it's, you know.
Well, I like that eye work.
The eye work.
Absolutely. That's dope.
Absolutely. Because every time, like, you tell that story, or we just talk about how we met and just the place that we both were in, it's just, it's pretty magical, you know, and it really is just a reflection of what happens when you tune in.
When you tune in. And you just,
when you tune in, when you make you a priority, when you make self, big self, not little self, not ego self, right?
Right.
Right. But your spiritual self, right? The wholeness, the lightness of who you really are, when you make that your priority, what happens, or what you create, what you attract as a result of doing that I work, as a result of doing that work. And so many of us, we look to other people to do that work for us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because it's easier that way.
Because it's easier that way.
You don't have to deal with that stuff that's coming up.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, push that back down.
Yeah. and that looks like wanting people to be who you want them to be, so that your stuff doesn't come up.
Exactly. So you don't have to do too much.
So you don't have to do too much, right? So you don't have to learn how to master your emotions. So you don't have to learn how to be responsive instead of being reactive.
Right? Come on now.
Right? Because there's a difference. We react from the ego, right? We react from that unconscious, those programs that we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Right? But being responsive means operating and responding from your higher self, right? And that is part of that I work, being the observer, stepping back and realizing, okay, the fact that I'm being triggered here, and this might be a lot, has nothing to do with the other person at all.
Now that's the key right there.
Nothing.
Because I know it's like I know when I first learned that. I'm like, and when you first hear it, you're like, no, because they did this and they did that, and they. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you learn that it's a reflection,
Yeah. Say that again.
now you gotta look in the mirror and say, well, what is going on with me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why did that trigger me? And then you gotta think of that, and then you end up going back to something that related to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's some work. Some people don't want to pull that. Don't want to pull the rug up.
Right. Don't want to pull it up, but keep tripping over it though.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like for real.
Right.
Don't want to pull it up, but we keep tripping over it, falling into you know who and what. Hello?
Tripping. What you tripping for? Because you're not like this. Right? What you tripping for? You know why you tripping? Because you ain't pull that rug up. You ain't pull that rug up, baby. It's got all types of stuff over there.
All kinds of stuff.
Ants.
Come on.
Worms. You know how you pull an old rug up that been outside? You see all the little worms and stuff going back in the ground.
All types of
You got to pull that stuff up, man.
All types of stuff.
Let it out.
Yeah. That is
Keep
the word.
tripping.
Keep tripping. That's the word.
Keep tripping for. Because, you know, like, because y'all know everybody got somebody they know in their family or their friends or whoever. It could be you. It could be your partner. But it's always tripping about something, like, meaning they are offended by everything.
Everything.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Everybody offends you?
Yeah.
Everything is offensive.
Yeah. The whole world's supposed to be different.
And you playing that victim role.
There you go.
But the work part, the I in team, if you're always offended, and you're always the victim, you're the common denominator.
Yeah.
And that requires a lot of work, because people that are always offended usually have a lot of trauma, unhealed trauma.
Yeah, emotional wounds.
Yeah, a lot of unhealed trauma.
Absolutely.
And until you deal with that, you're going to be tripping.
You got right back to that.
Hello.
That was a good job. Yes, I mean, because if you think about it, you know, in order to have the kind of love that we are, that we deserve, right, and that we desire, you know, you have to be willing to see your partner from a positive perspective.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to see them from a positive perspective. And you can't do that while also blaming them for the reason why you're upset. Right? Right? That can't happen at the same time, right? Yeah. And so the positive perspective looks like realizing that we're all working on our growth and development, right? We're all working on becoming more, right? That we're perfectly imperfect, right? So before we blame someone else for how we feel, realizing that we're all humans, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. And what that means is that we have to learn, we're learning as we go, right? So if you're feeling triggered, right, one of the things that I'm learning to do is to ask, what am I supposed to learn from this? Yeah. How is this situation intended to help me grow? Because everything is working out for you. I mean, the way things are divinely designed, and we were talking about this yesterday, it's quite, your mind can't even comprehend it, because the mind thinks in a linear way, in a cause and effect way, but non-linearly, right? The way that things are mapped out, the way that things are designed, it's so intricate. And just beautiful. Talking about it is giving me chills. It's so intricate that, you know, it's so intricate. And the truth is, it's all working out for you and for everybody else, right? So when things come up, they're meant to come up. Yeah.
Because what's the thing? If it's something like it ends with it's working on you. If it's not.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So if it's not working for you, it's working on you. Yeah. Shout out to Myron Golden. Yeah. If you aren't familiar with Myron Golden, he is a business coach, mentor, just genius, right? Pretty dope. Yes, if it's not working for you, it's working on you. And because we are designed, genetically designed, divinely designed to grow and evolve and become, because that's what life does. It just becomes more and more and more. There is no ending. There is no ending. Everything that happens to you is intended for your growth. So it's not happening to you in that case, it's happening for you.
Yeah, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. So therefore, even when you transition from this human life, your energy transcends. You know what I'm saying? To the next and the next. And beyond. To infinity and beyond. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's no, and this is something that I recently learned within the last couple of years, is that there is no point where you get to where it's like, yes, I have mastered self. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if you mastered self in this, while you're here on Earth, you won't be here long.
Well, yeah,
because it's time for you to go.
It's time for you to go. If you're still here, there's work to be done.
If you're still here, you're still alive, there's work to be done. And it's an ever growing thing. Like it don't end. There's so many levels to it. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you're not all gonna get it figured out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, as soon as you think that you got something down, here comes the next lesson for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
To elevate you to
the next. And there's no point where it's like, it's not like regular school where it's like, okay, I got my degree, I'm good. No, you did get a degree, but there's another degree. Yeah. And there's another degree.
Yeah.
And there's another degree.
and you want to be thankful for that. Yeah. For all of it. And that can be really difficult, especially when the challenge you're facing is like nothing you've ever experienced before. You know, shortly after Baby and I got together, officially got together, my younger brother suddenly transitioned. Right? And so it was one of it was the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my entire life. And when you experience a loss like that, you want to go in, you want to shut people out, especially if that's what you're used to doing, right? And as hard as it was, I knew that the love that I wanted, I deserved it, right? And I deserved Shantae, I deserved baby, right? So I had to really go within and ask, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? How can this experience teach me to love even when I'm afraid, even when I've just lost, even when I don't even know what life is going to look like for me the next month, the next year? How can I love anyway? Right? Right. And thankfully, here we are. Yeah. And I can't thank you enough. I thank you all the time. I can't thank you enough for being here with me during that time. And even still, but it really is all working out for you, even when it doesn't seem like it. It's all working out for you. Yeah. What
was the Instagram?
The Instagram's counting us down.
I mean, we could always bring it back up though.
We could
if it closes. But we are on YouTube, so click the link in the bio.
Yeah.
And join subscribe to our YouTube channel. And because we're live on YouTube as well. So
yeah.
Right.
And we are actually close to our time.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Did
you got 9 seconds?
Yeah. Well.
Come down. I don't want to come down. You got me.